What is up, savages and hotties? My name is John Fadule. As a teenager, I walked onto a Division I football team and became its starting quarterback as a true freshman. Basically impossible. I'm an online fitness trainer and the author of the novel Daydreams and Nostalgia. Welcome to episode 1 of Fadule World. Things that are in. Lifting weights with your boys at 11 a.m. on an NFL Sunday. If the thought of that doesn't make you happy, hey man, you can grumpy your zero fun Squidward ass through this life, and you can do that. Or you can realize, damn, life is pretty freaking amazing. You mean to tell me I just spawned here, alive randomly, on the only planet that actually works? The perfect distance from the sun? Which is a star, which is what our planet rotates around in an infinite universe. Any closer, life wouldn't be inhabitable. It'd be too hot. Any further, we'd be colder than I even want to think about. You're freaking alive in an era where organized weightlifting exists with an iPhone that you can hit your boys up with anywhere across the country or the world in less than a second? Organize a meetup at a gym where 2011 pop throwbacks are jamming over loudspeakers? Pump iron? Order a breakfast burrito while you're walking from the gym to your place or to your car to your place? Upper body muscle soreness achieved? Life is an incomprehensible miracle, one that you didn't even know to ask for. Consider the alternative. You could be perpetually asleep and never know what life is. Instead, you somehow made it here. You're spinning on a sphere, floating in an infinite universe. How freaking insane is that? That should put happy chills on you at least once a night before bed. Things that are in. Breweries. Crisp fall air. Breweries and crisp fall air. Tall table. IPAs on the way. Apple ciders on the way. Whatever your preference is. Hanging by a Moment by Lifehouse in the background. Football games on the TVs. It's chilly out, but you're totally fine in pants and a hoodie. Damn. So many little moments in that scenario to be grateful for. The magic of breweries is you can see everybody there. Unlike bars and clubs, where the music is so loud that you can't hear yourself think, and where no one's a real person. It's dark. It's pretty fucking sketchy. Totally great, but freakishly sketchy. Breweries are magical. Breweries are wholesome, warm. The word joy is in play. Breweries are freaking bomb. Girls whose primary social media is Twitter. Freaking hot. Intellectual attraction multiplies everything. It makes sex 100 times more important. It makes every interaction automatically interesting. You understand each other. It's freaking great. If you're younger than 22, that might sound like I'm speaking Korean, but you will get there, and it'll be awesome. The reason I bring up intellectual attraction when talking about girls whose primary social media is Twitter is because Twitter is a platform that rewards you for good ideas. The other platforms, not the case. The other platforms are for 8th graders. Hot girls fast cars, which there is definitely some validity to. But Twitter is the superior social media app because it's based on ideas. Not going to get too philosophical with that. Keep it in the back of your mind. What's most important for you to remember right now is that girls whose primary social media is Twitter are in. Gym girls, massively in. Nothing is more in. If you don't realize that gym girls are the hottest girls, you don't understand life. If you think that being attracted to a muscular, strong girl, a yoga thick baddie, prime wife material, who takes care of herself, who goes hard, who has great health habits, that she will then carry on to your future children, all of these are very important things. If you think being attracted to a strong woman is a low testosterone beta move, you're a dumbass fool. If a strong woman scares you away, you have low testosterone. Oh! That is the lowest testosterone characteristic of all time. Do you squat with the back pad? Skipping breakfast, very in. Breakfast is a myth. Breakfast food totally rocks, but by no means do you need to wake up and shovel food down your throat at 8:30 in the morning. Ryan Gosling, Blade Runner 2049. I prefer to keep an empty stomach until the hard part of the day is done. Every hero is in a caloric deficit. Every hero is lean. The Tyrant King, the bad guy, is typically overweight, bald, has a proclivity for being possessive and controlling and creepy as fuck with women, proclivity for sexual assault, treats people like resources, treats people like he is almighty savior of the world, and everyone else around him are his peasants. The hero doesn't do that. The hero is lean. He gives more than he takes. He consumes less than he creates. Skipping breakfast is in on a very baseline level, but also on a deeply spiritual, psychological level as well. Staying in 3 nights a month to work on your secret passion project. The thing you daydream about when you're sober. You can either sack up and do that awesome task you regularly daydream about today, now, this week, this weekend, tonight. You can do the thing you daydream about all the time, whether it's the movie script you think about writing, or the weight you daydream about losing, or the album that you've secretly always wanted to write and play on guitar and sing along to and put on YouTube. There's no right or wrong dream. What matters is that you chase the dreams you genuinely have, no matter how weird or big or small or unexplainable to the people around you they are. Your dream can be anything from winning the presidential election to buying a weird property that you've always randomly wanted to put a ranch on. There's no right or wrong dream. You can either get to it now, while you're as young as you are right now, while you have as much energy as you're gonna have for the rest of your life, while you can. Or you can delay and pretend like it isn't the only thing you actually want to do with your life turn 90 years old and wish you could go back in time and make things right. Avoid that pitting void of regret in your gut at all costs. I don't know if you've ever been in trouble in your life. I've been in a fuck ton of trouble. I was expelled from high school. There is no worse feeling than your gut somersaulting and doing backflips as you sit in purgatory, wanting nothing else in the world but to go back in time to the moment you fucked up and correct it. There is no worse feeling than when regret is trying out for the gymnastics team in your gut, and all you want to do in the world is go back in time and make things right. So please, for the sake of your future self, stay in 3 nights a month and work on your secret side project. Even if none of your friends think it's cool, even if your family members think you're crazy for it, do it. Spoiler alert, it will bring you the greatest joy ever. So freaking go for it. Cigarettes with coffee, definitely very in. Cigarettes between episodes of True Detective Season 1. Does anything make you want to smoke a cigarette more than seeing Russ Cole smoke them on True Detective Season 1? Cigarette companies do an incredible job of making smoking cigarettes look so freaking cool, so aesthetic, so chill. Multiply all of that by 100 when Russ Cole rips one off while solving multiple murders in the bayou of corrupt voodoo, Louisiana. Greatest show of television of all time. Girls who aren't clingy post-sex. Girls who give you 15 minutes of peace and quiet after you bust. The importance of this cannot be understated. On behalf of your boyfriend, young woman, when he busts, give him space. Okay? That's not the immediate moment to cuddle up on him. Let your boyfriend or crush or whoever it is that you're with, let that gentleman go to the bathroom, take his difficult 2-stream piss, buy some time, check his phone, let him miss his childhood a little bit, let him long for simpler times, let him be the one to throw his arm around you. I promise you, young woman, you are not going to lose points with him or favor with him for being not affectionate during this 15-minute period or 30-minute period between when he busts and when you feel like he's come back to life. I promise you, he's not going to go home to his boys and tell them, "It was bullshit. Michelle didn't cuddle me the second after I jizzed." That isn't something that happens. So, I understand this is a very exciting, happy time for you. Don't spoil it by getting your feelings hurt. Not that that's your fault. None of this is your fault. My gosh, you've done great up till this point. But protect yourself by not flooding the scene of the crime ASAP. In those 15 to 30 minutes, pretend you're 5 to 8 years older than him and you're way less interested in him than he is in you. Don't need to overspeak. Don't need to make what you just did a big deal. You're doing great. Girls 2 to 5 years older than you who party a handful of times a year. 2 to 5 years older than you who party a handful of times a year. Those are 2 hot attributes. Things that are in. Staying up late watching Harry Potter movies. If staying up late watching Harry Potter movies preferably while the weather is terrible outside, freezing cold, raining, if it's snowing. Oh my lord, for any of you that are interested or like reading or think that the way I see the world and talk about the world resonates with you, you'll love my book. There's a chapter in my book that is called Harry Potter Weekend, and it captures this feeling so freaking amazingly. Staying up late watching Harry Potter movies, darkness outside, cold air, you know the stars are up there crystalline. You know the stars are up there running the three-man weave, glittering down on Earth that we're somehow miraculously alive on. It's freaking crazy. If staying up late watching Harry Potter movies doesn't make you think to yourself, wow, life is a miracle. I'm so lucky to be alive, then you're a fool. I don't ever want to spend more than an hour and a half with you. The only reason I want to spend that hour and a half is to gather data from you that I can then use to help the people in this world that I like. Things that are out. Following Instagram models / liking their pictures. Insane. What the heck are you accomplishing by double tapping on Gigi Hadid's unaesthetic photo dump from frickin' Saudi Arabia? You got better things to do. You could be using that time to stay in 3 nights a month to work on your secret passion project, that's for sure. You could be watching True Detective with subtitles on. That would be a great use of your time. You could instead be on your crush's Facebook page, finding out what she's into, well-versing yourself in it, to prepare you for when that inevitable moment comes, when she's standing across the bar from you, or when she's leaving the gym as you're on your way in, and it's a totally appropriate time to approach her. When she intentionally positions yourself so that you do so, you'll be ready. But no, you won't be fucking ready. Because you spent way too much time on Khloe Kardashian's Instagram page, double tapping like a horny chimpanzee. Or worse, swiping on a freaking dating app, wasting your time, distracting yourself from the things about life that are actually awesome. See the things that are in list if you're confused on about what those things are, and about what your chubby toddler self would want you to be doing. He would want you to be wheeling your crush, or at least giving your best shot. Mind you, you shoot your shot with your crush and you miss, you've still won. Because you've proven yourself that you had the balls to try. She respects you for it, you respect yourself for it. I don't care if you go 0 for 100 this coming year. That's a win. Because you had the balls to try. Leaking your boy's secrets for social gains. Never do this. It's horrible to watch this happen. It's horrible to watch one of the dudes you were just at dinner with your 4 other who you thought were homies, and he gets one opportunity to leak a piece of information that was said in confidence at that dinner to a girl that he wants to like him, and he throws that information right to her, leaks it, because he wants essentially the pat on the head his 2nd grade teacher gave him. He wants her approval for the exchange of the valuable information, the secret information, the gossip, which heroes don't do. Heroes don't gossip. Gossiping is the most unattractive thing you can possibly do. Being cynical. I'm screaming out, fuck that. Being pessimistic. Horrible. No honor in being pessimistic. It's a defense mechanism. I'm so afraid of life that I'm going to shell up and pretend like I'm really smart or I'm ahead of the curve and that life isn't as good as it is, so that it's easier for me to cope with the fact that I don't get to be alive all the time. Honestly, if you're younger than 45, that probably sailed right over your head. That was kind of the meaning of life right there. All you got to know for now is that being pessimistic is out. Speaking negatively about girls you've hooked up with. Psychotically bad look. Horrible. Horrible thing to do. A girl has done what you wanted. You wanted to sleep with her, bang her, pipe her, smash her, have sex with her, however you phrase it in your mind. She did that with you. She gave you the behavior that you wanted out of the situation. And your response is to punish her for good behavior. Your response is to take it one step further than that and broadcast your punishment about her to other people. That's fucking so stupid. And it makes you look horrible. It's mean as fuck to do to the girl. But make no mistake, you, dickhead guy, honking off at the bar about how bad Sophie was at blowing you, or how boring Christina was in the sack, you are massively losing in that situation. Because what everybody is thinking about you as you're rattling off the bullshit spew that you don't need to be telling anybody, and that is probably wildly inaccurate anyway, all you're communicating is, I'm a loser. I'm a grumpy loser. Even in the most dreadful circumstances, after the worst hookup imaginable with a girl who you don't think is that great of a girl, you never need to explain anything more than, it was all right. You don't need to go into detail. You don't need to elaborate. Find a way to dead the point in the conversation and move on. Would James Bond speak negatively about girls that he hooked up with? Using food to make yourself feel good. In parentheses, it doesn't. It doesn't. The feeling after stuffing your face with junk food or going way overboard with the amount of food you put down at lunch or dinner, God forbid breakfast, which you should be skipping, it feels brutal. So don't be the dumb 8th grader who ruins his day by destroying his mind with mindless scrolling first thing in the morning and jerking off 3 times. Set yourself up for a good day, a good night. You know just how bad you're going to feel if you overdo it on food or if you eat junk food. You know what that feeling is going to feel like. Leverage it in your favor in the present moment so that you don't make the mistake in the present moment, so that your future isn't a swollen, bloated, brutal period of regret. Food doesn't make you feel good. That's a broken play that you don't need to keep running. Bragging about making your bed, bragging about waking up at 5 a.m., it doesn't communicate toughness or anything admirable, nor do those things count. You can wake up at 5 a.m. and make your bed till the cows come home. You can do that every day for the rest of your life. Busy work. What matters is the value you bring to the marketplace. What matters is how you make people feel. Are you helpful? Are you valuable? Do you deliver results? Waking up at 5 a.m. and making your bed is a great way to trick yourself into thinking you're achieving results, but nothing's really happening. You're rearranging some bed sheets, you're propping the pillows. What value does that do for anyone else besides your OCD? Settling for a girlfriend you aren't fired up about. If you don't fantasize about living in ancient Rome with her, she's not the one. This is so absurdly true. It's wild. It's plaguing males in their 20s right now. So many white boys on the East Coast are settling for a dainty, naggy anti-MILF. They're settling for a girl they don't jerk off to. They're settling for a girl who doesn't appreciate them. They're settling for an administrative, non-feminine, non-wholesome, non-warm, non-MILFy girl who checks the boxes that their parents are evaluating them on. Which is fucking stupid. You should only be dating a girl who fires you up, who you literally think to yourself, how the fuck did I pull this off? This is so great. I'm going to use this motivation, this fire, this inspiration that this girl who I have a crush on, who I'm also dating, gives me, and I'm going to use that to level myself up unimaginably. I want my future self to have a banging wife, and I want my future kids to have an awesome mom. There is nothing healthier than that. You should only be dating a girl who fires you up. Why are you marrying a girl you aren't absurdly physically attracted to? Why aren't you dating a girl that gets you hard on sight? Why are you wasting your time with a girl who doesn't fire you up? It's freaking preposterous to me. And if you aren't able to wheel a girl that fires you up right now, take your time, take the next 6 months to get yourself dialed in to the point that your dream girl wants you just as much as you want her. That's an option. The alternative is bitching and moaning and complaining, making wholesale statements about the female gender as a whole. Things like women suck or dating is broken. Listen to yourself. That's one step away from speaking negatively about girls you've hooked up with. You should only be dating a girl who you look forward to having a sleepover with, regardless of whether or not you have sex. That is so rare, and it is so real. When it happens, it will feel crazy. It will feel like you've won the video game, but instead of it being sad, it's joyful. It's the chorus of your favorite song. It's My Life Would Suck cranking. It's heavenly, truly. Also on the out list, last, and honestly, probably least, making running your personality. Never do this. You should be lifting and walking and using running or hiking, if it's something that you enjoy doing for the sake of doing it, those should be reserved as your treats once your weekly lifts and walks have been put in the bag. Running is freaking weird, dude. What are you running from? Why are you banging your knees and ankles off the ground? It's a terrible method for getting in shape. When David Goggins goes on his tapped runs, he's doing those runs for his mind, not for his physique. Not to stay in physical shape, not to look physically good, for his mind. Incredibly legit. But the runners in run clubs in American cities who mark how much water they drink on their water bottle, they're out for the same reason that bragging about waking up at 5 a.m. and bragging about making your bed is also out. They're out because their intentions with running aren't love-based. They're rules-following based. My second grade teacher rewarded me for doing my multiplication tables, for turning my homework in on time, for falling in line, for following every rule, for forfeiting my joy of life and my laughter in between classes and my slick maneuvers in front of my crush to give our class something cool to laugh about or talk about. They're trading in their love for life, what gives life color. I know a girl. She puts the color inside of my world, John Mayer. They're trading all that in for a cheap pat on the head. And that's about as out as anything in this world. I want to read a hangover cure that I wrote. Wake up randomly grateful and hit the gym with your boys. 2. See a girl you know hitting a kettlebell circuit. She played volleyball at your college and her body is insane. Can you see her in tiny shorts, crop top shirt, smoking a kettlebell circuit, going psycho? Incredibly hot. 3. Ask her to a date Tuesday night. Hot yoga. Find out she's equally hungover. Talk to her like you already know her. Have a conversation that belongs in a McConaughey rom-com. Say yes when she asks if she can shower at your place. Afterwards, let her wear one of your high school football t-shirts. 4. Watch True Detective Season 1 while banging between episodes. Her butt and calves are even more phenomenal in person than in pictures. How real is that? You've seen this girl's Instagram pictures upwards of 400 times. You know what the pictures are. Some of you might even know what the captions are. That's the girl that you just wheeled by being a great guy. Not because you're a creep. Don't think of this as hunting down meat with a spear. This is a dance. This is fun. This is light. This is joy. This is love. This is as much for her as it is for you. You're curing her hangover. Keep that in mind. 5. Bring her to your cool uncle's house for the 4 p.m. games. Have a blast with him and his friends while their wives give her the warmest welcome of all time. Your cool uncle equals the one you can tell anything to, judgment free. Damn. Damn. You're going to be at your cool uncle's house for hours. Multiple bathroom trips. There's going to be food there. There's going to be apple ciders and IPAs. Grill smoke will be in the air. Burgers, Italian sausages, over easy eggs, all kinds of carbs on side plates, sweet potatoes, apple pie, banana bread. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a phenomenal all day turns to night, give her your hoodie in the crisp fall air party. Celebration. Celebrating what? Nothing in particular. Just the amazing fact that we're alive. That's a freaking celebration. I know it isn't a celebration to your low-energy roommate or the HR staff at your place of work, but just being alive is a celebration. And this hits you hard at weddings when you realize, damn, this is freaking amazing. We're singing and dancing around a feast, celebrating a young man and his super hot love of his life coming together to celebrate marriage. It hits you, damn, why can't we do this every weekend? And is that question incorrect? Could we not be this wildly grateful to be alive every single weekend? Is the miracle of life not more important than anything else? Than whatever your manager is tweaking about? Than whatever the paperwork or the formalities of the vernacular at your job site or the application for the job that you don't even want to be applying for? Good news is, you dissolve the mundane formalities of life while you're at your cool uncle's party, and you realize, this is freaking awesome. And you brought this baddie into an awesome environment. And your cool uncle is freaking awesome at talking to her. And your cool uncle's wife, your cool aunt, is even better at talking to her than you could even imagine. What? You're adding and subtracting. She's doing pre-calculus in her head. She welcomes your crush the baddie that up until an hour ago you didn't think you would ever speak a word to in your life, who you've brought to your cool uncle's awesome party. Your cool aunt and her friends bring her into the circle and welcome her. What an unreal 5 hours you're giving this young woman. And you get to watch and enjoy it from your angles at the party too. Every time you look over, she's laughing. She's being told a story. She's downloading fascinating banger information about the year she's about to live. It's amazing. 6, go back to your place and watch Titanic. Take a pause break to bang in the Carolina blue lighting of the pause TV screen. Finish doggy style here to admire her tone back. How great is that? How hilarious and great is that? Titanic, extremely romantic movie. Carolina blue lighting of the pause TV screen simulates moonlight pretty well. That is the lighting that is shining on you two on the couch. You finish doggy style. You're putting your hands on that unbelievably grabbable lower back, top of butt cheeks of hers. Her long hair, she throws to the side so that not only can you see and appreciate her long hair, which is a hot attribute, you can also admire her tone back. That you had been admiring at the gym, that you had been taking notice of and admiring from pictures, from the sidelines, on those bar nights when you saw her and went home and thought about her before falling asleep. That is what you're looking down at, holding, grabbing, smashing, loving life. 7, step outside to share a cigarette and have a nostalgic conversation about how Sundays make you miss childhood. Put on 28 by Zach Bryan and dance to it ballroom style in the crisp fall air. This is the line. This is the line that hits. This is the line that when you're thinking back to this night, you remember. This is the line that you hear, and it brings you straight back to that moment, to that night, to that magical Sunday you put together with this badass, super hot, incredibly impressive, shining with self-respect young woman that you crystallized, the Sunday that you made real, a daydream that you turned into a reality, that you crystallized at the gym, at your place, at your uncle's house, now back here for your magical, nostalgic fall Sunday. Damn. Is life really this good? Yes. Yes. This is the line. That is the most important step of this Sunday. 8, at 11 p.m., order deluxe size acai bowls. Don't ask her if she wants one, just get her one like Mark Wahlberg would. And if you're an East Coast white boy, the beauty of that is you know exactly what I mean when I say like Mark Wahlberg would. And how awesome is that? Me and you and the 150 people, the 150 other white boys that you're friends with, we all understand that. That's a cool fucking feeling because it's connection. It's we know each other because we had so much similar shit going on when we were growing up. Exposed to the same shows on Nickelodeon, the same songs were on the radio when we were riding in the back of our mom's car to basketball practice. The same sports games and announcers that we watched growing up. The same media, the same movies. 9, wake up in the middle of the night with her head nestled on your chest and her leg wrapped across your body and look out your window at the stars and think, wow, life is a miracle. I'm so lucky to be alive. This beats time. You put a day like this together, you won. You won life. I want you to realize how lucky you are. You could have not been born. Remember what life was like before you were born? Perpetually asleep? That could have been your entire existence, and you would have never known. That's the fucked up part. But you're here, and you're alive, and you have crisp air to breathe, and you have weights to go lift, and you have your boys to enjoy life with. You have the Harry Potter movies to stay up late watching at night. You have that crush that fires you up, that puts butterflies in your gut, that you stand the opportunity to level yourself up into the character that she would want to date, that you get to date. Life is so freaking amazing, not even in an emotional way, in a calming, grounded, grateful way. You're alive. You won the greatest lottery ticket of all time.